Well, that was weird. Just got a message on my YouTube saying how to stay safe during lives. Should I be worried? Is 10 millimeter not enough? Should I have brought the 12 millimeter? That's 45. The difference is, though, the case length. The overall length of the whole cartridge, 45 and 10 millimeters, is pretty much the same. 10 millimeter was designed to fit in a 1911 from the get-go. However, though, due to the small diameter, losing 0.5 from a 45, well, 0.05 from a 45 to a 40 caliber, 10 millimeter is 40 caliber, 40 caliber is 10 millimeter as far as the diameter of the cartridge, diameter of the bullet. The case, though, the outer case obviously is going to be larger than 10 millimeter because the bullet has to go inside the case. Anyways, I digress. The point is this. Well, obviously 40 is going to have a shorter case length than the designated 10 millimeter, even though they're both 10 millimeter, both 40 caliber. Obviously, 38 and 357 are the same diameter, but the 38 was measuring the case, which is outside the bullet, whereas 357 came later on. That's measuring the actual bullet itself. So 38 is using a 357 bullet, and so was 357 Magnum. However, the 357 Magnum has a larger case length. And that's actually not due to needing the room for powder. When that came out later on, it had stronger powders. They could have put in a 38 size case with a stronger brass interior wall. Everyone knows this. They just put a longer case on the 357 so you didn't blow up your older 38s that couldn't handle that pressure. Makes sense, right? Back to 10 millimeter. Right. 10 millimeters is always enough. If you got a couple of mags of 10 mil, I mean, there's really, in reality, if that is not enough for all intents and purposes, unless you have 5 guys coming to whack you at the same time and you have no heads up, then there's nothing you can do about it. But even if 5 random thugs were coming to rob you, it doesn't mean they're all ready to die. People that are professional aren't going to stop till the job is done. Whereas 5 criminals are looking for easy targets. Of course, they're a threat, but once the first guy gets blasted with a 10 millimeter, 800 pounds of energy, generally speaking, his soul's already gone before he hits the ground, and everyone else is off to an easier score. The point is, My Father's Cigars is a brand that I used to really smoke a lot, and I haven't been smoking them. And why is that? Well, as far as they've become lazy as far as new content. They really, over the past few years, here and there, they'll put out a cigar. What is rough with you? Is this a dog joke? What is up with you? Thank you for that. Here and there, they'll put out a new My Father's cigar, but not a lot. And not a lot at the mid-tier price point. My Father was made famous for all their mid-tier stuff. It was affordable. Similar to AJ when he first came out. So My Father's cigars, of lately, the past 2 years, when I was in Florida, almost 3 years now, when I was in Florida, and then whatever. The point is, they've been coming out with really expensive cigars and limited cigars, and not that much of the $8 to $12 range. New stuff, meaning. And I remember there was a time where it felt like every year there was a new My Father's cigar, sometimes 2 cigars, And I digress. I remember when the Gran Oferta came out. I remember when the Opalencia came out, but so here I am coming back to the brand because I remember enjoying the Gran Oferta when I used to smoke it. And I probably haven't had a Gran Oferta in a couple of years. We got the blue band, which a Toro standard, feels like a 652. You got the double banding there. Very nice, classy touch. It is listed as a Habano Rosado. If you don't know what that means, Habano is going to be the seed, the type of seed, Cuban seed. But then you're going to have, I believe it's grown in Ecuador, where most Habanos are grown. You could look that up, though. Also, I don't know if you know, since 2020, Ecuador's homicide rate has quintupled per 100,000. I don't know if you know that. Ecuador is becoming extremely violent in the homicide category, but they make really good cigar wrappers, the climate and the territory. I digress. It's a violent place, but good tobacco. Yes, so could someone look up the blend on this? Is it an Ecuadorian Habano? And then I know it for the rest of it, I think is Nicaraguan. I think, or I don't care. Generally, everything my father is going to be Don Pepin, tobacco on his farm, but they're a lot more closer to the chest than Rocky Patel, or even like Padron, or even especially like what was that brand? Oh shit! Well, Perdomo, like you see a lot of videos of their property and their farms and their process, but there was another Nicaragua. Oh, AJ, but not too much. Not a lot of videos on my father factories or what or their farms. Um, are they doing something secret? I don't know. Does anyone care? Is my father a dead brand? Is my father's cigars just writing on the past? I don't know. I don't know. Like, or was it like a loading phase? They came out with finally. It came out with enough volume of cigars, of a spread, and then they're like, you know what, the market's saturated. So I don't know. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Jeremy is here, and he's also a sodomite. Appreciate it, brother. I had a I had a nightmare last night. In my nightmare, I lit up an expensive cigar. Well, no, I didn't. I grabbed an expensive cigar, but when I grabbed it, it broke in half, and inside of the cigar was maggots, and it was a dark cigar, like a Maduro, like a broadleaf. And I remember just looking at it, going, "Son of a bitch! There's no fixing this cigar. There's fucking maggots in this cigar." And then people that I didn't know, strangers, kept bumping into me, but they knew me, and they kept saying my name, my first name. And I'm like, do I know you? The other person bumped into me, and they say my name, and I'm like, do I know you? And I'm holding a fucking maggot-riddled cigar. I then woke up, and it was 1:33 a.m. The dark world was trying to send me a message. I got it. Ecuadorian. Good. You want to use soft, gentle heat. I can't stress it enough. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Uh-huh. Oh, spicy chocha. You know, I think this shop that I go to once in a while, not this other shop, this other shop, I think they had some issues with their cigar. The opposite. Normally, most shops have an issue with cigars being too wet. I think this shop had an issue with their cigars getting dry. And I think it was an issue with extreme cold temperature, too. Um, Interesting. Right there, medium, almost medium plus. What are we expecting? We're expecting a mid-level Habano. It's a Rosado, so it's not going to be the hardiest, high priming, ultra dark looking Habano. It's not a Ecuadorian Lajero Habano. It's got a nice toasty vibe to it. The Witching Hour. Thank you, Caleb. I appreciate that. Also, 133 is a combination of 13 and 33, which is a lot in the occult world. And then after that, it felt like I never went back to sleep at all. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Why? Um, it's definitely not one of the stronger My Father cigars. Normally, My Father cigars are pretty stout. Guys, sometimes we get into a slump. Sometimes, there's weeks or days back to back where we got some good times going on. I gotta admit, maybe I haven't smoked a cigar in a couple of years for a reason. I don't know. There is black pepper and a nice briny sea salt to it. Um, all right, it's got that going for it. We got salt and pepper. The finish is getting long with the salt and pepper, but the cigar really is about 65% darkness, maybe slightly more, but not 70%. 70% you start getting to more of a lighter Maduro type vibe or very dark Habano. Um, no, it doesn't have that vibe. It's got like a little bit of a toasty vibe to it. Black pepper, salt. At the base, there is some type of like caramel sweetness, but it's very light. It's not pushing it that much. So there is a little bit of super sweetness, but it's very mild. Um, in the end, I'm not blown away by this cigar at all. I think I paid like $8 or $9 for this. Pennsylvania pricing. There are other cigars I'd rather smoke for this price point. Uh, I'd rather smoke Macanudo Inspirado Red. I'd rather smoke Macanudo Inspirado Orange. Macanudo Green. I'd rather smoke Macanudo regular Macanudo Maduro. If we're going around mid-tier price point, you know, uh, Fuente doesn't really do a lot of Habanos off the bat. Like, you could say, oh, same similar price point. Go do a Hemingway, but that's Cameroon, or your Hemingway Maduro. That'd be a little more money, but still not a Habano. Mm. At the end of the day, guys, the cigar controls my mood. And do you see me? My choach is not touched. I really needed a good cigar today. I needed that front and back Gucci and the middle earth. I needed all three choaches to be tickled. And I'm not feeling the tickle. I'm not feeling it, Jeremy. It's ruined my night. I'm never gonna recover from this. Cigar is burning slow. Yeah, honestly, eh, man, man, this is not going well for my father today. You know, we had that new my father. What was it? The blue that I did not like at all. We got the Gran Oferta that I used to like what, 8 years ago. But right now, it's not going that well. And you know, nobody wants to hear bad news. You know, and I don't want to really hear bad news. So, oh, all right, another brand I'd rather smoke right now at the price point than this was AJ. Whether it's a H. Upman AJ or Romeo AJ or just an AJ. Um, yeah, I would be smoking AJ stuff over my father. That's it. I can't fucking fake the funk. Okay? It's not like it's completely trash, this cigar. But the blend, the profile I'm getting out of this is so fucking boring that I don't want to talk about it. I'm having a boring fucking time on this cigar. This is boring. This is boring. It's boring. Boring. And I don't, you know what? Who wants to hear it? I don't want to hear it. No, no, no. I'm going to get out of here. I'm fucking bored. The Gran Oferta, do what you want. I don't care. Doesn't even deserve points. This experience pissed me off. Um, I was hoping it would be good and bored. It's just boring. It's a boring, vague. It's not even like a good, strong, simplistic about. No, it's just like washing out. Fuck. No, no. I hope tomorrow. You know what? I hope tomorrow's better. I wanted a good cigar tonight.